Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are breaking down Lisiana Chashva and Margarita Mamun's interview. There has been such a series going on with breaking down Lisiana Chashva's interview. If you don't know already, this is a format where it's more of an informal conversation that Lisiana asks questions to the athletes, and it's more about personal lives and after the sport, etc. It's supposed to be fun, entertaining, and they're cooking while they're talking. I really hope you guys enjoyed these interview breakdowns and the sessions. I've done so many formats already on this. If you like this sort of format, this documentary deep dive, make sure you check out the rest. It's on my channel. I've done Alexandra Trusova, Kamila Valieva, Anna Shcherbakova, Alona Kostanaya, all the stars that you can think of, both in rhythmic gymnastics and figure skating. So make sure you check it down below. But let's get started with this interview breakdown. Margarita Mamun tries to break down stereotypes in rhythmic gymnastics, and one is definitely about body composition and body weight. She says that she didn't really have any problems with weight, but she was very insecure about her body because the gymnasts are usually really long, very skinny, and she was long and skinny but quite muscly and bulky in some ways compared to other gymnasts, and she already had quite a bum formed and quite a womanly figure in terms of rhythmic gymnastics. And so she was really insecure about her bum in particular. So whenever they would put her into leotards that tried to reveal her bum, that's what the coaches really wanted. And she just felt so uncomfortable and so insecure compared to other gymnasts that didn't have those formations and were like really flat and skinny and toned. And she tried to diet in any sorts of way and tried to figure out a healthy diet that would really last her and sustain her. And she came to doing lots of fruits, vegetables, protein, etc. Just the basic healthy diet.
Никогда не было проблем с весом?
О, нет. Нет, очень даже были.
Я тебя ни разу не видела какую-то проблемную. Ты всегда была тонюська, но ты была мышечной всегда, интересной такой.
Да, достаточно фигуристая, по меркам художественной гимнастики, с попой, которую я все время прятала. Мои тренеры все время ее хотели показать, что в 2015 году взяли упражнения под Бейонсе и отрезали мне юбку от купальника, чем я очень сильно переживала. И очень...
Правда переживала?
Да, я очень сильно комплексовала в целом всегда.
Вот на тебя посмотришь, такая уверенная, сильная, а ты прям комплексовала?
Очень. Особенно, когда девчонки все длиннющие, попы нет, груди нет, но это для гимнастики.
There's also another stereotype about that athletes are unable to try anything new. They only know about the sport and can't go into other spheres because they will not succeed. And Margarita Mamun really tried to break these stereotypes down. She tried herself in different roles in terms of media and TV and masterclasses. There's a very much stereotype that the athlete, once they finish their career, go into coaching. And Margarita Mamun said the masterclass is completely different to coaches. She tried herself in the role of a coach, where Irina tried to call her after the sport, told her to come into Novogorsk, and she'll try herself in the role of the coach. She did, but she finds it very emotionally and energetically draining. All that energy is drained and she feels really tired because she tries to give it her all. She is quite a strict coach and is very disciplined and very serious, and she just feels like she cannot really go into the coaching because you have to give it your all and it's for the rest of your life. She really wants to try something new. In masterclasses, she prefers to coach 12 to 13-year-olds because it's more interesting. For babies, it's really hard because it's more of a nursery but with some sort of stretching going on, so it's more difficult. But when you're 12, 13 years old, it's a bit more easier to tell you they really want to do this for a living, and it's just so interesting.
Хотя 6 лет уже прошло, и вроде как-то я не особо афиширую, что я там тренирую, хотя я и не тренирую, вот.
Даешь мастер-классы, правильно?
Я даю мастер-классы, но это совсем не тренерская работа. Вообще,
ты не хочешь
абсолютно.
Тренерскую?
Нет. Меня, конечно, Ирина Александровна звала в Новогорск, как только я закончила, и я ее искренне понимаю, она не хочет бросать, отдавать, выпускать все труды своих работ.
Ну, хочется, чтобы все свои были рядом. Это
да,
нормально.
Конечно, да, но... Поэтому, да, я понимаю, что у меня бы получилось бы. Я терпеливая достаточно.
At this current stage, Margarita Mamun is married to an Olympic swimmer. He's a world championship and an Olympic champion. and they have a son called Laura. And Laura is completely different to both of them, how they look. He has blue eyes and blonde hair. And Margarita Mamun has brown eyes, brown hair, and same as the husband, brown eyes, brown hair. And so he is completely different, and lots of people don't even think that's their child. They met at Novogorsk. They were training together pretty much because the rhythmic gymnasts, swimmers, and other complexes are really nearby. So they met there, and they just were really good friends. They fell in love with each other during the Olympics. They competed both. The swimmers were first off, and so they kind of saw them on TV. She really supported him. And while she was filming a documentary that took 2 years prior, he was really nervous. He was there all the time with her. Their love was just irreplaceable. They loved each other, and then after the Olympics they both retired from the sport and they got married. She said that she never had the sport depression because she was dealing with so much. Her dad was dying, she had to plan the funeral, she was just really close with her family members, she had masterclasses and other activities that were going on, she was everywhere. But she said that her husband did really suffer from sport depression. He didn't really know what to do with himself after the sport. She is surprised that she isn't as spiritual, doesn't really believe in superstition, because Irina Vina is very much thinking about God all the time and always thinking about spirituality and doing everything spiritually or doing things superstitiously and stuff like that just for things to happen. But she's more scientific in that aspect.
Мне придало это огромную поддержку. Я прям была настолько спокойна, как никогда.
А давай резать и говорить. Ты была спокойна.
Я была спокойна. Блин, это сложно.
Давай. Я была спокойна, как никогда.
У нас вроде очень сложно координационный вид спорта, потому что я это... Но он молчаливый просто, там эмоции нужно выражать. Он специально после своих соревнований, после своих заплывов, просто на Олимпиаде плавания в самом начале почти что, ну и до середины идет, художественная гимнастика прям в самые последние 2 дня. И он попросил, чтобы возможности остаться там, и он был везде со мной. Он меня провожал в столовую, забирал, провожал на все тренировки, и он меня сажал в автобус прямо перед финалами, потом поднимался на трибуны, и про меня же снимали...
молодец, умничка.
Да, это невероятно. И про меня снимали документальный фильм за 2 года до Олимпийских игр, и у меня остались кадры, как они подпольно снимают, на Олимпийских играх нельзя снимать без лицензии, и они подпольно снимали, как вот он ходит туда-сюда, как он кусает ногти, трясется, как он вообще, он звонит. Я никогда его таким не видела.
Я не представляю вообще, если честно. Это
тяжелее на самом-то деле.
Это тяжелее.
Да, выступать самому.
Это его девочка выступает, это представляешь, что...
Но когда я за него болела, я не была в зале, но я смотрела по телевизору, было очень сложно. То есть, когда ты сам выступаешь, ты вроде контролируешь весь процесс, ты знаешь, что ты тут спокойно, ты вроде тело свое чувствуешь. И тренер, и твой муж там на трибунах...
Знаешь, как ты сейчас смотришь с этим ножом? Просто великолепно.
Знают, что тебя ожидает.
She hasn't really got an established career yet. She's kind of all over the place as a freelancer. She works when she wants to. She doesn't want to stick to a timetabled routine because she's so tired from that regime of back to the trainings. It always gives her flashbacks of her rhythmic gymnastics career. There was everything kind of as planned and very disciplined. She just wants a bit of freedom and some movement on what she wants to do. As of now, she's really focusing on her family life. She's focusing on raising her son. She wants to try herself in other aspects, but doesn't want to have just one specific career goal. But she did try herself as a commentary in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics where Dina Nerina Verna were, and she felt it was her first time, but it was also very emotional because of the situation with Dina Verna getting second place and the whole scandal that was happening. She really tried to hold herself back. She was very emotional. She really wanted to shout at things and just get all of her emotions out. But then she again was reserving herself because she thought that maybe if she shouted, they would get disqualified. And so she really was having this emotional roller coaster in terms of commentating. And then she also had another job in Beijing when the figure skaters were at the Olympics, and she just came there as a sort of Olympic champion that knew how the system worked. And she says that her job is being an Olympic champion. That's what she tells everybody. But she loves giving masterclasses out. She loves giving other things out, but she works mainly as a freelancer in her own time and tries to give her own working hours. She says when she was winning prizes and getting medals and money, she was always saving up for the apartment. She's not a shopaholic whatsoever. She actually feels really guilty whenever she goes to the shops and really wants to buy maybe like a designer purse. She feels like all that money that she's worked up to just to give it away to some sort of bag, she feels like she's guilt tripping herself to not buying the item. But also she says that when she did get her first money into international competitions at 15 years old, they would always have to split the salary into half for the coach and half for herself, and then also for other doctors, medics, into psychologists, into the whole team that really worked around her and give them some of the money like that. So the money was kind of...
Настоящее. Я вот подрежу, ладно, вот это всё?
Да, да, да.
Чем ты сейчас занимаешься, кроме, естественно, материнства и каких-то мастер-классов?
На самом деле в прошлом году я попробовала себя в роли телеведущей.
Прекрасно.
Поняла, что мне пока что интересны более точечные проекты. Я не готова ходить каждый день с утра на работу, вести какие-то эфиры. Это пока что мне, видимо, осталось с Новогорска.
Свободы хочется.
Да, мне прям хочется определенной свободы. Когда захотела, когда... то есть не когда прям захотела, но когда есть какие-то определенные проекты. Вот. И...
Пуловые, да?
Да.
Такие.
И, получается, я съездила с Первым каналом на Олимпийские игры в Токио, где я комментировала самый сложный эфир вообще, мне кажется, за всю историю художественной гимнастики. Это было мое первое комментирование, и оно выпало вот такая доля, когда случилась такая драма.
Сложно было тебе?
Было сложно.
Сложно было на мат не сойти? Вот,
было сложно. Я в жизни мало матерюсь, конечно, но тогда мне было сложно. Я помню, мне мама писала: Рита, перестань быть такой эмоциональной, поспокойней,
так это же классно.
Да, и я тоже, то есть она звонит.
Quite an optimist and pessimist at the same time. She really doesn't want to disclose her family situation nor her apartment. She doesn't want to show that and kind of make her life public on that, because she's really happy how her life right now is. She kind of is very protective of her circle and her family, and always wants to be surrounded by this comfortable scenery of her family being close by, and she's always got this home. She prefers small things rather than really big things as well. So Margarita Mamun is really much of a family person, is very protective of family. As of now, in 10 years' time, she really wants her life to continue as it is. She wants to look at the positives in life. She wants to really live in the present and live around her family members. In terms of career, she says that she always wants to just be the Olympic champion role and just work whenever she really wants to. Doesn't really have a clear plan into what she wants to do, but she says that she visited Bangladesh, where she's from, a long time ago, and says that she might establish something in terms of sport, maybe involve rhythmic gymnastics, help out charity organizations, because the people live a very poor life. There's a clear boundary between rich and poor. There's no kind of sport foundation anywhere. There's no rhythmic gymnastics at all. And whenever she comes there, people classify her as a champion, and that medal, that gold medal, is classified as theirs as well. She really wants to help out their organizations and establish something like that. Last year they did this charity event that raised money for sport organizations in Bangladesh.
И мне это очень-очень близко, и я вот надеюсь, что у меня получится. Я наполовину бенгалка. Мы в прошлом году с мужем приехали на мою вторую родину спустя 15 лет. Я там не была. У них нет ни одних призеров Олимпийских игр, естественно, и олимпийских чемпионов. И они считают мою медаль своей. И я у них там почти что звезда. И художественной гимнастики там нет.
Бенгальская тигрица, да?
Да. И в целом...
И хочешь там основать что-то, да?
Может быть, основать, может быть, сделать какие-то такие же миссии, может быть, как-то помогать людям не только через спорт, да, а в целом, социально, потому что это одна из самых бедных стран в мире. Бедность, конечно, там большущие контрасты. Там босиком детишки бегают, да, там ездят большущие красивые машины. В общем, мне хотелось бы как-то помочь именно в социальном плане. Надеюсь, получится. В прошлом году мы сотрудничали с ООН «Женщины», поэтому, может быть, я бы хотела бы видеть себя в этой роли.
That is life with Margarita Mamun, and she's living a really family-friendly life. She wants to be a stay-at-home mum, but also work and do other media productions, maybe see herself doing acting or other things like that. I really hope you guys enjoyed this interview breakdown. This was something different, and you can really see her personality, her confidence grow, and how positive she is and how woman friendly compared to maybe the documentary that you saw, Over the Limit. There's very two distinct sides, and that there is a life after sport, breaking down all the stereotypes in rhythmic gymnastics. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah.